In the midst of the tragic news of Sheila Mangubat's son's health and her visa denial, actor David Dangerfield recently announced whether or not he and Mangubat will be returning to the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. David, a Nebraska native, met Sheila, a single mother from the Philippines, in an online community for deaf singles and fell in love with her. After 2 years, he finally met her in season 6 of Before the 90 Days, and her living conditions affected him. After becoming engaged, David wanted Sheila to come to the United States as soon as possible. Unfortunately, their romance is in jeopardy due to delays in Sheila's K-1 visa. When it comes to his Instagram followers, David is pretty candid. Although he keeps his admirers informed about Sheila's visa status and all the intriguing things happening in his life, his most recent post failed to make them grin. David discussed his future plans inside the franchise in a text-based Instagram post. He spared his admirers no unnecessary fluff in his letter. "I saw 90 Day Diaries' new season," he commented, before adding, "but I'm not in 90 Day Diaries." After viewing the sneak peeks for the next 90 Day Diaries Season 6, David felt compelled to inform his supporters that he would not be appearing in the show. Fans who can't wait for him and Sheila to return may have been wondering when he will be back on 90 Day Fiancé. It was informed to David and Sheila that the K-1 visa would be accepted more quickly than a spousal visa, which would take years, if they wanted to get married in the Philippines. David regrettably announced the denial of Sheila's K-1 visa in November 2024. When asked about his plans to see Sheila in the United States, he said it would be another 2 years. David wished that 2025 would be a joyful year for them. During this time, he began exploring potential properties to live in with Sheila and her son. A possible relocation to Japan was also mentioned by him. David broke the news to his fans in March 2025 that John Rail, Sheila's kid and a teenager, is sick. He would not reveal what had ailed John Rail, but he did say the boy had been unwell for 5 days. Being Sheila's son's second father is something that David takes very seriously. While he patiently awaits good news regarding her visa, he has been concerned about his partner and her family. What audiences want to see on television is the unwavering devotion of the deaf guy, David, who has not abandoned his love. 30 Day fans are occasionally taken aback when Fiancé stars make unexpected public revelations about their continuing storylines, even though they usually try to keep spoilers about their stories off social media. The recent announcement of a child's arrival by Brandon and Julia Gibbs was a prime example of this, as was the happily ever after. A major plot point in Season 9 concerns her ability to conceive. At first, I thought it was an odd choice, particularly given Julia's infertility has been a plot point since Season 2 of The Last Resort. But I think I see why they chose to make the pregnancy announcement public before the most recent episode now that I've watched it. They went to the doctor to obtain a second opinion on whether Julia was having fertility problems, right after Brandon and Julia had another argument about his parents. Brandon was ecstatic when they found out that a scar tissue removal procedure might greatly improve her chances of getting pregnant. But Julia wasn't sure she wanted the operation as she'd never been under anesthesia before. 30 Day, even though I'm just guessing, I can see why Julia and Brandon would have rather not to hear their fans' opinions on the continuing pregnancy rumor now that it's over. Nobody will be able to say anything negative about Julia's phobia of surgery or Brandon's pressure to have the operation done if they post a photo of them smiling and her with their child. The constant nitpicking from fans must be draining. I think everyone involved is simply hoping for a break, whether they are criticizing someone's mother-in-law or discussing someone's new boyfriend. Requesting for privacy is like requesting to have a paycheck withheld from these reality TV stars, unfortunately. Giving the audience something else to speak about is, I would think, the only way to find calm in that environment. And that is precisely what Brandon and Julia accomplished with the pregnancy announcement. We can now focus on their potential as parents rather than worrying about whether or not they will end their marriage.